Hi folks, Mark Allen, BHSpringSolutions LLC, and today we are continuing with the long-term endurance test of the Tisas pistol. It is July 4th, 2018. It is 78 degrees now, about 8:45 in the evening, 67% humidity, and we're going to start our third 1,000 rounds. We've gone through 2,000 rounds so far. We're changing the testing protocol now. We're going to start doing 200 rounds at a time because we are running out of daylight, and we have not seen any real benefit from resting the pistol after 100 rounds. About every 200 rounds we've been going into the bucket of water long enough to get everything cooled down and then keep going. So we're going to be loading magazines as they're being emptied. We're going to do 200 rounds at a time. The pistol is going to go in the water. Let me talk to you a little bit about the Tisas pistol. So far, we just cleaned it up after that last 1,000 rounds, inspected everything, cleaned everything, lubricated everything. We just are not seeing any issues, any unusual wear, nothing going on like that. The Picatinny rail, which we did have a little question about, would it hold up under all the heat? It has just so far been impervious to everything that we've done. The RDIH grips are working out excellent. They are not transferring heat to the hand. That's a good thing. We are noticing that we're getting some heat feelings in the trigger subassembly area and the trigger when we start getting into the 200 and more than 200 rounds. And we've noticed that reliability and function has been getting better and better and better. The last 900 rounds was with CCI Blazer Brass 115 grain. It really did function excellent. We had a couple of isolated failures to eject, but just very, very, very few. We thought that was a plus. We are running the FN blued extractor, BHSpringSolutions extractor spring, and we're going to continue to do so in this 1,000 rounds. Pops volunteered to continue shooting, so he's shooting and I'm loading. Nope. I'm going to stop the testing just for a moment. We're going to go ahead and put the pistol into the water. And reason we are is because I was just watching and we're getting empty shell case ejection distance at only about 3 feet. And we were doing better than that with this ammunition, and we think probably the heat is getting to things just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead here and cool the pistol briefly and go ahead and we'll finish out these 5 magazines. This won't take a long time.
Won't take a second. Cool that off. Still pretty good?
Do it.
Cool.
we'll finish out this 200 here. We're going to be looking at the empty shell case ejection distance here with the pistol now cooled. Bucket? Yeah. Okay, we're into our third 1,000 round set. We've got 200 rounds through. We just changed over to the federal ammunition. We did not see function and performance and ejected empty shell case distance quite as good as the CCI Blazer brass that we tested with. This 200 rounds we're going to Perfecta, which is actually an Italian-made brass cased round that we've had really good performance from. Beautiful flash off that pistol for the 4th of July. I want to point out one thing real quickly. Pops has now put about 1,000 rounds through this pistol. And one of the things I was noticing was the recoil reaction of the pistol. And I think what was happening was Pops may have been starting to loosen at the wrist and not be rigid. And we call that limp wristing. And from the point I said, get the wrist rigid, we've not seen another failure, and suddenly ejected empty shell case distance started to get 6, 7, 8 feet away. It made a big difference. So let's see if it continues and we don't have any more failures to extract. We'll see. This needs to go out here, yes? Yeah. That's it. Okay, we're going to keep rolling just 1 second. Drop it in there. Pops, you have just put the last 1,300 200 rounds through this Tisas high power.
Enjoyed it.
Hi folks, we've now put 2,400 rounds through this Tisas today, and I'll tell you, this is one hell of a test of a handgun. You've seen us going so hot it sizzles, going into the water, back out, no lubricating anymore. We're using Gunzilla every 1,000 rounds. I have been occasionally hitting the slide rails after this last 200 I just did. Just remeasured the trigger pull brake weight. That was running 5 3/4 to 6 pounds as we set this pistol up, and just took the trigger brake weight that Sear hammer has seated in with each other, now breaking in the 5 to 5 1/4 to 5 1/2 range consistently. Beautiful, crisp, clean trigger brake. This cylinder and slide wide trigger that we're using, extremely comfortable. Pop's just finished 1,300 rounds of shooting with it, barehanded, no gloves. I too, I've put 1,000 rounds through the pistol today. We're going to do another 200. Right now we're using the Perfecta Italian brass ammunition, 115 grain, and we're going to get started. We're starting to run out of daylight. We're going to crank through this last 600 rounds, so we have 3,000 in today, and we're going to do that in rather short order, we hope. Rounds. Perfect. I'll show this real quickly. See the powder burn marks around that front end? That's a real hardcore test for a gun fish. We're going to see that things up right now. We're not going to see nothing special. 400 rounds more to do this evening. 3,000 rounds of pistol. We had about 400 rounds. Now, no malfunctions whatsoever. Everything is clean pistol. So we are going to get started. We can now get that 2,800 rounds to the pistol. Absolutely the best 4th of July fireworks ever. Look at that muzzle blast out of there. That's all. More perfect rounds.
Hey.
Very nice.
Yes, it's coming.
Look at the steam coming off of that pistol. Okay folks, it's time for fireworks. It's July 4th, 2018. We have now put 2,800 rounds through this Tisas high power today. We've been doing 200 rounds at a time. And then the pistol's been going into a bucket of water. After this 200 rounds, it is due for another disassembly, cleaning, lubricating, and inspection. Right now, we've got about 600 rounds, so the last 600 through, and it's been completely flawless. And it's been 100% excellent function. And now we should have some nice muzzle flash to see for the 4th of July here on these last 200 rounds tonight. You might hear fireworks around us going off. We're going to see what this will do for the last 200 rounds, and then we're going to resume this test very soon. But this will be half the test finished, the first 3,000 rounds, and we're going to get to it. Thank you, thank you.
I knew you'd want this.
That's it.
Yes.
Folks, that's another 200 rounds straight through. That is so hot. Even the slide stopped when I just touched the edge of the slide. Wow. Look at the steam come off of that piston.